Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to talk about that one topic us accountants get all the time. Should you be VAT registered? Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, and also head of account here at Boffix. Now, Boffix is an accounting firm that we have built from the ground up to make sure that businesses don't just survive, but thrive. And one of those questions that get asked on many a time is, should I be VAT registered? You see, the question of should I be VAT registered when you first start your business is actually, and not many people know this, is actually a choice. You see, unlike all the other taxes that we're subject to here in the UK, like PYE and self-assessment and corporation tax and all those other taxes you have to be involved in if you're going to start a business, from a VAT point of view, you actually get a choice. And basically that choice is do you want to become VAT registered or don't you want to become VAT registered? And the only time that you're forced to become VAT registered is if your turnover, so that's the amount you sell, remember, is over £85,000. Now, if you're starting out a business from day one, the chances of you having £85,000 worth of income is going to be quite slim and remote. And it's something you'll probably aspire to and hope to get to at some point. So then you'll have a time lag before when you start your business to when you actually have to be VAT registered. And in between, it's a choice. So before we go into should you be VAT registered and is it worthwhile being VAT registered, let's try and understand what VAT registration means. You see, unlike the other taxes that you can have of being a business, in theory, and this doesn't always work out, but in theory, VAT registration shouldn't affect you as a business. You see, VAT or value added tax is supposed to be a tax designed for you and me when we walk into the supermarket or we go buy a phone or we go buy a computer. It's supposed to be VAT we suffer as end consumers when we go and buy something from someone. And as a business, if we choose to be VAT registered or if we're forced to be VAT registered, then our role is to add VAT on top of our product and service so that then we can collect that VAT, hand it over to the VAT man on probably a quarterly basis. And that is the design of what VAT is all about. We're adding value added tax to our products and service. So as an example, if I sold a transaction for £100 and I used to sell that item quite happily at £100, then in theory, when I become VAT registered, I should sell that item for £120, adding that £20 of VAT on top. So as a business, all I should be doing is collecting that VAT on behalf of HMRC. So every time I sell one of my items at £100 and £120 gross, I will collect £20, keep £100 and pay that £20 back to HMRC at a later date. Now, as a VAT registered business, because I said that the person who should be paying that VAT is that end consumer, so again, me and you walking into a shop, then that means that as a business, if I suffer VAT, so if someone charges me VAT, then I get to claim that VAT back. So you think about that scenario. If I'm selling an item for £100 and I have to add VAT on top, so £120 in total, but I've bought an item that costs £60 and the person who sold that to me charged me £10 VAT, then I actually get to collect that £10 and I get to use that against whatever bill I have left to pay at VAT. Because if you think about the way that works, we're passing the VAT from you buying that first item at £60 with £10 VAT and then selling it at £120, £20 VAT, you're passing the VAT down that line. So if you're able to collect the VAT from the person who sold it to you, and then you actually then collect the VAT from the person you sell to, that means you only have to pay the difference, which in this case is £10. What can be really cool about being VAT registered is if you make no sales in a period, or maybe if you sell items at 0% VAT, then you actually get in a position where HMRC owe you money each and every quarter or the quarter that you don't actually make any sales. So you actually get a refund from HMRC during that period. So let's recap what we've gone through so far. First of all, VAT is a choice. You don't have to become VAT when you first start business. If you choose to become VAT registered, you should, in theory, add VAT on top of all of your sales. Now, in some circumstances, you won't be able to do that. Your prices are going to be quite fixed. Maybe you've got a really competitive market or whatever the reasons are going to be. So in those circumstances, then really you're going to take a hit to your profit and your bottom line because you can't add on the VAT. You're going to have to suffer the VAT in that cost. But remember, when you're VAT registered, not only do you get to collect the VAT on behalf of HMRC, but you get to collect or you get to deduct anything you're suffered against it. So if you go and buy a new computer or you go and buy a telephone or whatever it's going to be, and those costs associated with them, then you get to claim that VAT back. And when you think about being able to collect VAT, that means you're actually be able to receive items cheaper than you would have done if you were not VAT registered. So that's VAT. Should you be VAT registered though? Well, that's all going to come down to your personal preferences. And also it's very much going to be down to if your business can withstand VAT. Let me give you 3 different scenarios and decide if they should be VAT registered or not. Scenario number 1, I am happily selling to the general public, maybe via an online portal, maybe something like eBay, Amazon, something like that. Now, if I'm selling to the online public, then they can't claim that VAT back. So if I was to add 20% to all of my costs and all of my sales going forward, am I going to price myself out completely out of the market? If the question to that is yes, then most of the time becoming VAT registered wouldn't be beneficial until you hit that actual threshold. Once you hit that threshold, you don't have a choice. At that point, you're going to have to become VAT registered and suffer the fact that you are going to have to sell your items at an increased cost. So scenario 1 probably isn't the scenario for you to become VAT registered. Scenario 2 though, what if you were selling to another company who was already VAT registered? Well, in that case, they don't care if you're VAT registered or not. In fact, in some circumstances, they may see you being VAT registered as actually a bonus because that to them makes it look like you're a bigger company than you actually probably are. So you can choose to become VAT registered, increase your fee to them by 20% because again, they don't care. They just add that and claim that back on their next VAT return. But it means that you can increase your fees, collect that VAT, so you don't gain that VAT as such, but every penny of VAT you suffer, so your telephone bill, your accounting bill, all of those costs that you're associated with, you can claim that VAT back, therefore saving you money. So instead, when you go and buy yourself a brand new laptop of having to pay the full price, you're going to be able to basically only have to pay the net price because that VAT you get to claim back on your next VAT return. There's a bit of a timing issue there, but overall, you're going to have a much cheaper and easier way of being able to fund buying equipment and everything else that goes with it. Scenario number 3, well, if you sell zero weighted items, so a great example of this is someone like a butcher where their items have a VAT value of 0%. So if they become VAT registered, their sales prices are not going to go up anything because they only have to add 0% on top. But that also means they get to claim back VAT on everything that they pay for that has VAT on. So, their telephone costs and accounting fees and all that sort of stuff. And what that should mean is that each and every time and every period they do themselves a VAT return, they should be in a position where they're getting a refund. How cool is that? So actually, in their circumstances, they're going to have an opportunity to claim back VAT on a regular basis. And I have one more bonus scenario for you. If you're having a startup business and you're incurring a lot of expenses, especially if you're having to go down subcontractors who are charging you VAT, then sometimes being VAT registered at the beginning, when you're making no sales whatsoever, can really help on cash flow. Help you actually be able to make sure that you get a refund back every quarter, every month, whatever your VAT period is going to be, and try and help you actually make that better for yourself. VAT and becoming VAT can be a really complex area. Don't forget to use the comments, questions down below. We can answer any questions there. Or why not contact us at hello@boffix.com. Remember, our whole motto is we want small businesses not just to survive, but thrive. And I think being VAT registered at the right time, under the right circumstances, is definitely a situation where you are going to thrive and not just survive. Let us know in the comments below if there's anything else you want us to have a conversation about and chat like this. We're really proud of our YouTube channel here at Boffix, and we'd really appreciate it if you give it a like, subscribe, all that jazz, maybe tell a friend or two about it as well. At the end of the day, we want many people as possible to know if they should be VAT registered or not, because not being VAT registered at the right time can be a really costly issue, and becoming VAT too soon can also give you some detrimental. So getting that right sweet spot of when it's time to be VAT registered can be an absolute godsend for most businesses out there. My name's been Aaron Patrick. As always, been an absolute pleasure to do this video for you. I'm sure I'll see you in the next video. So bye for now.